Welcome to July 28th, 2023. Another week in Russia, and it's been full of crazy news. And no, I'm not exaggerating by making this statement, by saying it's all going to hell on the thumbnail. No. Elvira Nabiulina, the head of Russia's central bank, she said that in one of her briefings to the press. But I'll give that news to you at the very end. So please keep on watching. I'm being a little smart, you know. The news today will be crazy. It's a Friday night update. I have to say that, and consider this a disclaimer. What I'm about to tell you is 100% truth. I take real news from Russia and from Russian life and make them available to you. It's not a comedy show, although at times it may appear so. Howdy everyone, my name is Konstantin and welcome to Inside Russia, where usual Russia explained by the unusual Russian. What you will find here is truth, BS, no BS, truth, sorry, gotta take this, see, it's been a long day. What you will find here is, let's start with the usual. What you will not find here is BS, lies, and propaganda. What you will find here is common sense, truth and logic, and some emotions, because I am still a human being. If you're looking for BS, lies, or propaganda, go and watch some other bloggers. They have plenty of that. They keep on telling that Russia is doing fantastic. Well, I'm merely giving you the truth. Without further ado, let's jump right into the news. I'll start with the African news, believe it or not. And the newsmaker is, well, he's quite the newsmaker, all right. He seems eternal. He was the newsmaker when I was a college student, fresh out of high school. He was the newsmaker when I left for America a long time ago in the mid-90s. He was the newsmaker when I returned to Russia after spending almost 9 years in America. He was the newsmaker while I was living in Russia for around 19 years. And he was the newsmaker when I was escaping Russia for Uzbekistan, and he is still the newsmaker now. A couple years ago, I would have said, oh, he'll continue to be the newsmaker until my grandchildren actually watch the news. But no, today I will not say that. Today, now I will say that this long-living blah, 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 Blair is getting to his end and fast. The only newsmaker that's been making news longer than our newsmaker, and that's his buddy, Lukashenko. And our newsmaker is none other than Vladimir Putin. I think you already understood that. Well, our fellow newsmaker has been making some real strange news lately. A mix of horror, despair, and misfortune have been coming out of the mouth of, this newsmaker. That's kind of news he's been making. Like there's something's been broken inside of him. Or someone got a screwdriver and adjusted something somewhere deep down there, It appears, this is what appears like. Well, this is the latest news that just came out of the newsmaker, and the newsmaker Vladimir Putin just wrote off 23 billion US dollars debt to Russia of some African countries. National debt of some African countries to Russia. Russia lent money a long time ago. So, and then they're making payments, and he's just writing off $23 billion for no obvious reason. And that's about 2 trillion rubles, a little below 2 trillion rubles, okay? $23 billion. My first thought, how many schools, hospitals, how many, I don't know, stadiums you could build for that money? But then I figured, I got excited. I figured, hey, something must have happened while I was sleeping or while I was away. Some kind of a news must have come out. The war must be over, or the sanctions have been lifted of Russia. All the Western companies just came back to Russia, and perhaps Russia has been allowed to export oil at full price again, perhaps gas. Woohoo! So Russia, something must have been done. So Russia is swimming in money, That's the only reason why you can write off debt to some countries for 23 billion rubles, right? Makes sense. Hooray. And I immediately started checking for the news, the good news. Where's the good news? Turned out nothing happened. The Russian economy is still doing the same, only it's actually getting worse. And that man writes off tens of billions of dollars of our money, Russian taxpayers' money, just to stay buddies with some African dictators? Very sad and definitely crazy news. And the newsmaker should be checked by a psychiatrist. Moving on. Another news from this Russian-African summit. Why do you think that the newsmaker wrote off the debt? Because it happened during the summit. It's happened today. And now there's a summit happening. Russia-Africa summit. In case you didn't know. It's underway right now. I think it's in St. Petersburg. Never happened before, this event. But it's a huge deal now. Russian propaganda has been blowing up this event, this summit, this very strange ordeal, out of proportion. Like it's the biggest, the most important event in the world. The African leaders have come to pay his tribute, pay their respect to Vladimir Putin. Wait a second. Not so fast. Because 2/3 of African leaders refused to go to Putin's summit at the very last minute. The Russian-African summit has been boycotted by the heads of most African countries. 38 out of 54 African countries did not send their leaders to the summit. Only 16 countries are represented at the level of heads of the states. Another 10 African states sent prime ministers to the event in St. Petersburg, and almost half of the summit participants sent delegations of a lower level. 16 of them are headed by deputy prime ministers and some ministers. Deputy prime ministers. And five countries from Africa are represented at the summit by mere ambassadors. 5 African states refused to participate in the summit at all and decided not to send anyone. What a slap in the face of Vladimir Putin. It seems that the heads of African countries are not stupid. They understand what events they should attend and they shouldn't. They should stay away from. But now I understand the previous news about debt writing off much better. Okay, Vladimir Putin simply wrote off national debts to all countries whose presidents have come to the Russian-African summit to shake his hand. This is ingenious to those African folks, A flight to St. Petersburg and back, and hey, billions of dollars of debt of your country to Russia just disappears. Nice. And us, we're moving on. And interesting news comes from Russia or China, Russia. Well, anyway, 7 out of 10 foreign cars imported into Russia now are Chinese. Over the past year, 2022, car import from China to Russia has increased by a whopping 543%. And the rest of the car manufacturers from Europe, from America, from other countries, well, their car imports have dropped by 100%. They don't import, well, they don't sell their cars to Russia any longer. I actually have a suggestion to Putin. Let's lend the Chinese some money, and then you go ahead and write off their debt. How about that? A goodwill, sign of goodwill from Russia to China. Please, Vlad, take this idea into consideration. And we are moving on. This is another crazy news. I think this news is actually even beyond crazy. I don't know if you are familiar with aircraft, Soviet aircraft, but there was a manufacturer of Soviet planes, and it was a pretty good manufacturer. They produced all kinds of planes, including small one-pilot sports planes, the ones that can do the maneuvering real well. The name of the manufacturer was Yakovlev, and the plane's brand was Yak. I'm pretty sure you've heard of that. But then, when USSR fell apart and Russia was born, lots of old Soviet things have been abandoned, including names. A lot of companies, enterprises, plants, they were renamed. And Yakovlev was, that manufacturing, not even a plant, it was a holding company, consisting of different plants. It was renamed to Irkut Aircraft Corporation. Right now, it's a part of Rostech State Corporation. It's basically owned by the government. And today, without any preparations, announcements, they just renamed this company Irkut Aircraft Corporation back into Yakovlev, back into the Soviet name. That name is the symbol, a brand name of one of the brand names of the old communist country, the USSR. Do you have any doubts that Russia has already become the USSR? It's not back to the USSR. It's USSR 2.0. Upgrade, improved, and updated. The old new name, Yakovlev, is just another proof of that. Moving on. On July 1st, 2023, the volume of cash, good old hard cash in circulation in Russia, reached 17.9 trillion rubles. That's a lot. This is another record of all the time of observations. And the records are set during the past 12 months because, at least some people in Russia aren't stupid. Bank would be the last place where I'd keep my rubles right now, if I had any back in Russia. This news actually gave me a little hope in Russians that, some of them have a little bit of common sense and logic. And we are moving on. Russians have founded more than 21.3 thousand companies, LLCs and corporations in Georgia since March of 2022. That is according to Transparency International Georgia report. The company is very respected, and I trust the information that comes from Transparency International. Now, Russian citizens opened about 1,300 new companies in Georgia every single month. In comparison, for almost 30 years, from 95 to 2022, two Russian citizens created a total of 7,700 companies in Georgia. So now we have over 21,000 in 17 months, right? 16 months. And then here we have 7,700 in almost 30 years. I keep telling you that most energetic, most confident, most entrepreneurial Russians have left the country. I keep on telling you that the ones who have left and, established the home bases in different countries such as Georgia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Sri Lanka, the USA, you name it, okay? They are the cream of the crop. I know them personally. There are plenty of here in Uzbekistan. They are such a huge loss to Russian economy because they're not coming back. They have left Russia forever, at least absolute majority of us. And they are such a tremendous asset to any country that they establish their home base at. And Transparency International report on Georgia is just another proof of that. And we are moving on. Russian Ministry of Defense Sergei Shoigu has finally resurfaced after Wagner mutiny 1 month ago, exactly 1 month ago. You see, no one had seen Sergei Shoigu since the mutiny happened until pretty much yesterday. The rumors were floating around that Shoigu was either arrested for some reasons unknown, or he was drunk straight for weeks, not getting sober. Pick any version you like. I don't know which one is truthful. And now, Sergei Shoigu finally resurfaced. Rejoice. And where did he resurface? In North Korea. I kid you not. He resurfaced in North Korea. Out of all places, he resurfaced in North Korea. Why exactly he went there, no one knows. And it doesn't make any sense if you look at it, if you try to explain it from the official point of view. They were pictures of Shoigu walking around some North Korean military manufacturing plants. Some say, well, he went to look for drones. BS! Because that's not Shoigu's task. It's not his place to go and look for drones. There are special people. It's been a long day, sorry. There are special people for that in the Russian army. And that's not Minister of Defense, task. He needs to be doing whatever he's supposed to be doing. He's the Minister of Defense. He's number one under the sun-like commander-in-chief, And then yet he's just taking it easy in North Korea. So, why? Everyone's been wondering today, why? Why? Folks, I know the answer. He's just needed a little break to catch a breath after Prigozhin publicly promised to take care of Russia's Minister of Defense, take care of his virginity and other things, And as Prigozhin got very close to doing it. So obviously Shoigu, he was shaken, scared, and he needed a little vacation. But where can he go? It looks like he's not allowed even in Crimea out of all places. He is persona non grata in Crimea. Imagine that. The only place left for Shoigu to fly is North Korea. The North Korean friends will gladly take him anytime. And they're taking him now. They're taking care of Russia's Minister of Defense. I have an official request to make to the North Korean people and their government and Jim, who I mean, the big boss. whatever his name is. Dear North Koreans, can you please keep Sergei Shoigu in your wonderful country, North Korea, forever? And if you do, we will write off all the debts that you owe to Russia. How about that? Let us move on. An interesting, crazy news happened today. Well, one among many. At this Russia-Africa summit, the head of Russian Eastern Orthodox Church, Patriarch Kirill, I'm pretty sure that you have heard of his name. You know who he is. He is the head of Russian Eastern Orthodox Church, right? He was making a public address to Vladimir Putin. Yeah, he got in front of the cameras, in front of all the African presidents, ambassadors, whoever, assistants, and Putin himself. And he started making his address. Let me quote Kirill. So again, I want you to imagine it's a huge hall, right? Very official, the president of Russia sitting on stage, everyone sitting off the stage there, down below, kind of looking up Putin. And Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin is kind of the king. So let me quote Kirill. That's what he said. Your Excellency, deeply respected Vladimir Vasilyevich Putin. And Putin went like, did you notice anything strange? I mean, Your Excellency, deeply respected Vladimir Vasilyevich Putin. Well, two things strange here. Since when Putin became addressed as His Excellency? This is the first time I heard that. And since when he is Vladimir Vasilyevich, which is a completely different name? I thought he was Vladimir Vladimirovich, right? Well, not so fast. Questions. So I started asking questions, and people started asking questions in Russia too. And a lot said, oh, you know what, tough. Kirill just made a mistake. Yeah, it's an honest mistake. What can you do? And I place myself in the shoes of Kirill. I have this piece of paper in front of me, right, that I read off. Putin is sitting right here, and, cameras and everything. And I start reading, not, reading. And I say, Your Excellency, blah, 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 Vladimir Vasilyevich Putin. So I'm reading. Either someone wrote me wrong, but I mean, I'm sure Patriarch is a close friend of Putin. He knows what his name is. So there's something fishy here. I know. I got the answer, and I'm going to give you the insight now. Let's suppose, just for the crazy idea, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin has a body double. And the double's name happens to be Vladimir Vasilyevich. I mean, it's possible, right? And Kirill was not wrong, because he was merely addressing the double by his real name. He knows this is not Putin. He knows it's a double sitting right him. He knows him well. It's one is Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, and another one is Vladimir Vasilyevich, whatever, Ivanov. So, this is just addressing the double by his real name, Vladimir Vasilyevich. And that explains Your Excellency too. Your Excellency double Vladimir Vasilyevich. Makes sense, right? And we're moving on. Russian ruble is reacting to the missile attack that was executed very recently on Rostov, on cities right next to Rostov, Taganrog and Azov. There were multiple missiles. They either reached their targets in Taganrog or Azov, or they were intercepted by Russia's air defense system. That is really hard to say right now. But all over Russia, there's breaking news. So many people have heard, and so it's like a couple buildings have been damaged, and not talking about that. That's a topic for different stream or different video. I would like to attract your attention to the ruble. How ruble is behaving right now? This afternoon, a few hours ago, $1 American could buy you 90 rubles. Right now, as we speak, $1 American can buy you almost 92 rubles. That's a pretty high jump. The ruble has lost quite a bit of value, and it makes sense because ruble always loses value when an event of this magnitude happens, right? When Wagner attack happened, ruble lost more than 10% of its value, okay? So ruble value is dropping right now as I am speaking, okay? This is just another example of Putin's stability. Oh, Russian comrades, you have nothing too much to worry about. Don't worry. Everything's going to be stable. This kind of stability, much more of this kind of stability is coming your way, so fasten your seatbelts. And we are moving on. And finally, I will give you the news about Elvira Nabiulina and why I named this stream Everything is Going to Hell. That's going to be a good one. One of the things that I like the most to talk about is economy, because I'm an economist by trade. I really understand economy well, and economy is not a rocket science. Economy is basically like math. You do something, you get a result. So the news is that Elvira Nabiulina, in her news briefing, regular news update for the press that she did recently, said something that not too many Russian people noticed. I think not too many noticed, even fewer understood what it really meant. Yet, what she said was extremely important. She told Russian people the truth. She told that basically Russian economy is going to hell. I quote Elvira Nabiulina. The recovery phase of Russian economy growth has been finished for the most part. The recovery phase of Russian economy growth has been finished for the most part. Now, let's take a deeper look. This is hugely important, okay? What is it? The recovery phase, the economic growth, I know my Russian fellas, this is not interesting. Okay, sure, it's boring. Comrades, go keep on drinking vodka. It's much easier for you this way. Well, at least it's going to be easy for some time, and then the reality will hit you. But for now, you can keep on drinking. And for the rest of you, the ones who think, the ones who are with common sense, the ones who think critically, what Nabiulina said means Russian economy is at the point when the good times are finished. Now the Titanic is going down. But wait a second. The good times? I just called what happened in the last month's good times. Yes, these were good months if we compare them to what's coming. You see, there have been millions of Russians who've been saying that Russian economy has done fine since the start of the war. I think most of you have heard people like that. Mostly in Russia, but there are actually some experts from the West. They've said that. Some real crazy ones have said that Russian economy is doing even better these days, okay? And Russian government has been fueling this opinion by statements. For example, Putin has publicly said many times that Russian economy is doing fine. It has withheld through all the difficulties, and it's unsinkable and so forth. The ministers, the officials, they've been saying the same thing all over again, that the economy actually was recovering, doing good, in good health and good shape, and growing. Now, You will not understand what I'm going to tell you without a very short analysis. Forgive me, but I'll make it very quick and very simple of what's happening. Day one of the war, everybody is in shock. The markets, Russian markets, are in shock. The banks are in shock. The investors are in shock. The Western governments are in shock. The Russian central bank is in shock. What happens? Immediately, on the day two, the sanctions. Western companies leave Russia at once. Most of them, at least. Panic and shock in the markets. And in the first couple months, Russian economy falls into abyss. It basically drops down, okay? And people didn't have good expectations for it back then. But after the initial shock, Russian government gets help from the oil markets as the price of oil surges. And, they get help from a few other things. They actually, the head of central bank, Nabiullina, is a very smart woman, and then she's done very well to keep Russian economy afloat for some time. But she's not a magician, right? And the economy, after a couple months of this initial abyss dropping down real low, it starts recovering to the pre-war level or close to it. It starts climbing up from the abyss, if you know what I mean. And the officials start shouting loud, oh my gosh, victory. The economy is growing. Economic growth. Russian economy growth, and all this patriotic crap. See, Russia's problem is too many people drink, and they don't think, they don't analyze. Because if you do, it's obvious, then you just wouldn't buy this crap. But most people have been buying. So, what all those officials had been doing, they were comparing pre-war, they were not comparing the pre-war state economy to that, climbing up. But they compared the point when the economy fell down. And they started comparing that lowest point to current situation. And every step on the way was higher in economic growth terms than the abyss, the lowest point of the abyss. I hope you understand. So the comparison was not done correctly. It was actually misinterpretation, misleading, basically lying. Okay, that comes down to this. They were lying to Russian people, and Russian people were just buying it. So they did not compare it to the pre-war levels, but they compared it to where the economy fell a couple months after the start of the war. And now Nabiullina said publicly in a press event that this is it. This is over. All reserves to keep Russian economy afloat have been used up. Now there's only one way to go down. But Elvira, we already know that. We already know that we're down. No, we're not down yet. We're going down from the down that we are already at. Okay? So translating Russian central bank head's language into plain English, everything that could keep Titanic afloat for so many months have been used up. Now, my dear Russian fellows, fasten your seatbelts because the ship is... Basically, she said, everything is going to hell. Albeit, she said it indirectly. But her message was very loud and clear to the ones who actually analyze and think critically. I plan to make a detailed video on the current state of Russian economy in the upcoming days. So please keep on tuning in. And that is it as my Russian crazy news update, my friends. Friday edition, thank you for coming. Please join me in a live stream chat right now where I am inviting everyone. I'll be answering questions and conversing with you. Thank you so very much for coming. That is my honor for you to be here. Thank you. And while I am turning the chat live stream chat on, I'd like to ask you to do me a couple favors. First, would you please help me spread my message by making reposts of my message on your social media accounts? It actually helps a YouTube algorithm and it spreads message to more people. And would you please mind, if you liked what you heard, hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel so you won't miss any further updates. And if you would like to buy me a coffee or a tea, I wouldn't mind that. You can do that at buymeacoffee.com or become a patron at patreon.com. Thank you so much. And the chat is on. I'm ready to answer your questions. And thank God it's Friday. Before I start telling you, conversing, I want to give you the update, which pretty tragic update, you know. I'm not fond of it, but hey, it is what it is. A few rockets fell or actually hit targets in Rostov or near Rostov. One of them was intercepted and fell down right in front of my cousin's house. Okay. So I told her it's a good luck because no one's been hurt and house is intact. So the chances are that the rocket will hit the same place is very minuscule. So I guess, that's the only good news there is. That's what you get for starting a war against your neighbor. I really would like not to discuss this attack right now. It's been just happening right now, but I will definitely on Sunday or on Monday when I have more information. There's not much to talk about right now. We'll discuss it more. I'll give you the reactions of Russian people. So far I have very few, but very few, and I'll definitely get more. In case you are first time viewer here, it's been a long day. I can hardly speak English. I'm sorry. I guess I'm having my Mitch McConnell moment. Frank Miller his birthday's today. Well, we will sing definitely. Thank you, Mommy. If you're here for the first time, I would like to let you know that this YouTube channel and this community has the best moderation team in the world. Lorna, Mammy K, Bob S, Harry Potnin, Blackett, and Prince Amir Fazad. The best mods you can ever find, and just awesome people. Thank you for coming. And the usual suspects, most of you are usual suspects. I really appreciate you listening to my messages, watching the videos, and, conversing. Thank you so very much. And looks like I am already behind on the questions. Sorry. Mitch McConnell moment, there's not much I can do. It's been Mitch McConnell day, really. It's been zoning off somehow for some reason. Again, everyone, thank you for coming. Am back. Thank you so much for your question. Sergei Shoigu is in North Korea to swap grain. North Korea is having a famine for artillery shells. North Korea has tens of millions and will swap. Now, my friend, thank you for letting me know, but let's think about it. Why would Russia send the Minister of Defense to do a business deal? Grain for ammo. Do you think that Shoigu will be inspecting every bullet or every shell or every whatever drone by himself? I don't think so. This is just a cover, okay? There's got to be something behind the cover. Shoigu is, he does not need to be in North Korea ever, okay? Because the deals, he doesn't make the deals. The deals are made not by Shoigu. Either big deals, big time deals, that's to Putin, or small operations like to carry on the trade or swap. That's just managers from Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, along with Ministry of perhaps Finance, perhaps Ministry of Trade or something like that. That's it. Shoigu is not needed there. White Lightning, thank you so much. How long will it take total economic failure to disable Russia's war machine so they leave Ukraine? Will people have enough food? This question is actually not unique. It pops up from once in a while. Thank you for asking. Hang on one second. Micah Schultz, not everything goes to hell. This channel is on the right path. Thank you. Thank you so much. Russia is perhaps the strongest and economically, potentially the strongest country in the world because for its sheer size of natural resources. There's plenty of everything. If Russia was shut down, isolated completely by a huge wall, Russians, and there would be normal government, Russians would still survive. There wouldn't be hunger or anything like that because there's plenty of everything. Russians will not go starving. There's plenty of food grown. Russians are fairly resourceful because a lot of people still remember the Soviet times and they just grew basically everything themselves. I remember that. We did that. So you can live on potato. It's not going to be very nice food, but you will not starve. Okay? You will have starch, you will have flour, you'll have sunflower seed oil, you will have salt, so you will not starve. Russia will not get to that point where the revolt will happen due to poor economic state. I think the revolt will happen due to a fight of different power groups because in Russia there are different groups, they're hungry clans, they're hungry for power, they're hungry to get the absolute power, they're hungry to topple Vladimir Putin, kick him out and install their own person or people. So that's where the danger is coming from, not from economy. Because economy, it went into the abyss and it got up a little bit and it's going to be there going down, but still it's not enough for people to starve to death. Because Russia is just too freaking big. Eileen, thank you so much. I love Matt Friday, Loop the Loop streams. May Shoigu is getting acclimatized to the North Korea atmosphere since Russia is on the way to being North Korea too. Yeah, I hope he stays there. He doesn't come back. Hope they send him to a nice state resort, and pamper him and treat him. Cherny P, thank you so much. Thank you. Good, nice words. When we in Baltics tried to warn the world about the predatory and vile nature of Putin's Russia, we were called Russophobes. Good to hear the truth from a Russian. Well, first of all, friend, thanks for coming. I've seen you here before. Thank you. It's an honor, and it's very heartwarming. And now I'm gonna do something that's not very pleasant. I will tell you that I was one of among those who didn't believe in the predatory and vile nature of Putin's Russia. I thought until the last moment that Russia would never attack Ukraine, that Russians were not that warmongering and not that predatory and not that vile and they have empathy, and I believed in them. sorry, you know, you live, you learn. They don't have empathy for themselves, let alone the others. And I'm going to be making a stream on that. And this is going to be a huge deal of this attack on Russia and Rostov. Because I've been calling, obviously I have family there still, extended family. And I've been calling everyone, and I'm just shocked by what I'm hearing from people. But I will not keep it to myself. I will make it public in the stream. Crusader Damien, thank you so much. North Korea desperately needs international recognition as it is a pariah state. Unlike Russia, they can't sports wash their criminality. And with all irony, this is the future blueprint for Russia. So, as it is a pariah state, unlike Russia, they can't sports wash their criminality. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think that Russia can sport wash what it's done to Ukraine? Really? I don't think so. This is the future blueprint of Russia. There are different pathways, and if Russia goes to North Korean pathway, yes, I totally believe that's even going to be worse than North Korea. Okay. But yeah, let me know. You think that Russia can sports wash its criminality? Joanne, thank you so much for joining Inside Russia sponsorship. Thank you. Mr. Kaliskian. Super Smash Bro 596, thank you. It's okay, part of patriotism is being able to call your country out when it's wrong. Yeah. A little too late. Too little too late, my friend. In that regard, you're still a patriot. I am getting confused of who I am. And it's not a pleasant feeling, you know. I have learned so much about myself recently in these months, and things that I didn't know myself. And my wife, she's learned about me, you know, all this positive stuff. But I'm also learning other things too. I'm learning that part of me is just getting lost. Okay, it's getting confused. It's complicated. Crusader Damien, I don't believe, but they will try, and International Olympic Committee is naively helping them. Okay, thanks. The answer is taken. Well, hey, look at this. I now ask Crusader Damien questions. That's insane. That's, my friends, that's personal growth. Daniel, thank you so much for gifting sponsorship to 5 people, from me and from 5 people. Thank you so much. And before we move any further, I would like to sing a song to our birthday boy. His name is Frank Muller. I think he is the only foreigner who is involved with Tashkent International Breakfast Club, and he's gonna get involved even closer. Deeper, closer. Anyway, those who don't want your ears to be broken, would you please cover them up? Because I am going to sing the birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Frank. Happy birthday to you. I am wishing you many happy returns of the day and all the best, good health, lots of money, and lots of luck, lots of success, and nice people to surround you at all the time. Happy birthday. And thank you for being such a fantastic part of this community. Mika from Finland, howdy. Talked to a Finnish company today called Metso. Howdy, howdy. Calvin. Michael Schultz again, thank you. Becker Stock, hello. Grace Philosophy, howdy, howdy. Look, I sent you the reply today, so please check it out on Patreon. Very strange. I've been feeling out of sorts today. How I said, what you will find on this channel is BS. It's pretty epic. I guess Mitch McConnell is contagious, you know. Phew. In Russia, we sometimes say that's laughing out of being too nervous, you know. It's like a relief, and you start laughing. So this is it. Blackhead. Christian Kruse has birthday too. Happy birthday to Frank Miller, finally 21. Yes, Frank now, by the way, can drink legally. German beer. Christian, another birthday song is coming. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Christian. Happy birthday to you. You are a usual suspect, and I am wishing you to be always healthy, wealthy, surrounded by good people, and always keep on tuning in to Inside Russia and, you know, being in the live stream chats. Happy birthday. Sam K, thank you so much. Yes. I'm seeing the Nightbot birthday. It's really hard to miss. I put so many flowers there. Just need to get there. White Lightning again. Scott Nesbitt, great to see you. A leitmotif for me. Greetings from Maryland. Sponsor for a year. We gotta do something for sponsors who are sponsors over a year. You know, mods, let's think about it. Let's, you know, what can we do? Subscribed since before SMO. Wow. It's been, I mean, time flies, you know, it's been so long, you know. In 2 months, I just caught myself thinking today. That's why I've been having this Mitch McConnell moments. In 2 months, that'll be 1 year for me to be living in Uzbekistan. 1 freaking year. Can you imagine that? It happened like yesterday. TGN, thank you so much for reaching out. I've followed your channel ever since the war started, and I think you have real quality content. Thank you. Thank you so much. Always look forward to the streams. Singing is horrible. Guilty as charged, you know. Hey, I'm not a professional singer. Probably could make money singing. I start singing and people give me money to stop. I know. But that's okay. KG1, more news. Ukraine has moved Christmas Day to 25th of December. It's expected, and many things, many Russian traditions, Russian language traditions will be dropped by Ukrainians. And I mean, who can blame them? For goodness sake, I don't. None of the people in Uzbekistan here do. We get together every morning and discuss things, you know. All I can say to Ukrainians is please forgive us. We stole your language. We stole your Christmas. It's just great. Makes me feel real good, you know. Jeffrey S., how is the healing going? I saw that Shoigu and Prigozhin... No, don't tell me that. Paula W. I saw that Shoigu and Prigozhin are both in North Korea. How weird is that? Impossible. You think that Prigozhin still wants to get Shoigu and give him a Colombian tie or something? Interesting. I'm getting my popcorn. Thank you. Thank you for the good news for a change. Hi and Mök. Do you think any Romanovs survived and fled Russia? I'm not, friend. I'm not an expert on that, you know. I can't talk on things that I don't know much about. I don't want to misinform you. I don't have an educated opinion. I'm sorry. I don't know. Joe McMahon, thank you so much. Lovely singing. Yeah. Lovely singing voice, Grace. Yeah, that's not me. You're mistaking me with someone else. Time goes quicker as you get older. Unfortunately, I start realizing that. That's my info as well. There's a photograph of Prigozhin with some African official. Well, perhaps he's in St. Petersburg, or perhaps he's in Africa. I saw that photograph. I don't know what to make out of it. Or perhaps it's just an older photograph because he was doing business in Africa for like almost a decade. Lars Borsch, stay positive, Konstantin. Idle life sucks sometimes, but they want you to be miserable and do not give them the satisfaction. Thank you. You know, thanks. These words are very encouraging. Thank you so much. You know, some days are great and some days are not so great. It's like a roller coaster. And I think it's going to be like that for a long, long time now. But I really have nothing to complain about. By the way, folks, I'd like to make an announcement. I'm going to be taking a little pause on YouTube. I mean, I'm not disappearing or anything. I don't give up. Don't plan on giving up. I just would like to take a little break. I have my family coming. I'm bringing all the kids together in one place. All my kids, including the Mainas. And I'll be doing a little bit here and there, you know, private live streams or something like that, but not like every day like I've been doing. So about 10 days. So my break will last for 10 days. And I'm trying to record a few videos now. So I will repost them while I will be on a little break. Faith, thank you so much. Latvia and Finland. Viltus, thank you so much for sending good words. Again, every time I have in the stream, the Ukrainian doesn't happen too often, you know, but a person from the Baltics, from Poland, from Czech, Slovakia, you know, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria. I really appreciate that because it warms my heart. It's like a little salvation for me, you know. Thank you. Jason Carney. Jason, thank you so much. You are the godsend champion of supporting this channel. Thank you so very much from me and my family. Please drop me a line and email so I make a special video for you. And thank you very much for sponsoring 5 people on this channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Eileen Forward, have you been threatened in Russia? Many people suggest your channel and chat of other Russian YouTubers. Yes, I have. I was threatened in Russia. I will not tell you more, but I definitely did not feel safe in Russia, and I feel even less safe now than I was feeling in Russia. Russian government cannot mobilize me, obviously, it cannot arrest me, but I can do other things. Okay. So to say that I'm 100% safe, I'm feeling safe, nope. Many people suggest your channel in chats of other Russian YouTubers. Who? Like what YouTubers? I'd really would love if like everyone would not suggest me in the channels of other YouTubers. The less exposure I get in Russia is better. Eugene Lindsay, be of a good cheer. I tried to look at all things through the lens of Bible and the Holy Spirit. Only through that does this world make sense. Vero Beach, Florida. Thank you so much, Eugene. Let me tell you something. I look at this world through two things. Through my mind and through my heart. Hang on one second. Been watching just before the war started. You're one of my few sources of truth about Russia, what's going on over there. Hope you have a wonderful and well-deserved vacation. Thank you so very much. Be more with God. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're a sponsor of Deep Inside Russia. That's an upper tier. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Just before the war started. That's been a long time. Now, Eugene, let me tell you. I look at the world through my head, through my mind, and through my heart. And God is, of course, is at heart. In my head, I can reason. There's logic, there's many tools that I can think of, I can use, I can apply. For example, I can take something and put it into small portions, okay, like a puzzle, small pieces, and analyze and put back. And in my head, I think, I understand that my situation is great, actually. So many more Russians are in much worse position. I'm not even talking about Ukrainians, for goodness sake, those poor people. I just, even hurts to think about it. But I can reason with my head, but I cannot reason with my heart. My heart lives a separate life. If it feels like hurting, it hurts. If it feels like cheering, it's cheerful. This bad days, they don't come from my head. They come from my heart. And the good days too. And there's not much I can change about that. It's just how I feel. It's pure emotions and feelings. Benny Grandström, thank you so much from Sweden. I appreciate very much this huge support. Thank you. Unfortunately, I don't know how to say thank you in Swedish, but thank you. A year since living between the lines. Oh yeah, that was quite a time. Guy, it happened. It seems like a dream now, but it happened. It happened to me. I was speaking to you through reading between the line language, It's just insane. It happened. Another Mitch McConnell moment. Joe McMahon, Constantine, sing along with you. Thank you so much, Joe. Together we make a great duet. Okay, you think. Enjoy being with your family. Looking forward to seeing you all together. You will soon. Thank you so very much. Cat Daddy Mike from Missouri, southeast Missouri. Howdy, howdy. I am in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. North of Tajikistan, north of Afghanistan, south of Kazakhstan, east of Turkey. Anyway, in the center of the universe. Ken Tyler, yeah, 27,000 were watching at once, and Lorna and Mami were the only moderators, I believe. That was a crazy, crazy time. Yeah, those ladies are so good. Dave Strains, out of all the Russian YouTubers, Konstantin you never changed your course of opinion and stayed with your true feelings, no matter how hard it was. That's the difference, and it's everything. You know, Dave, I did change a few things. Well, my views changed. I've said many times, changed on Russian people. My views changed on... I thought that Russia would never attack Ukraine or sheer nonsense, you know, and I thought that Russian people actually have empathy, which kind of I think less and less. What I do, no matter what happens, I always speak the truth how I feel. If I change my opinion, I admit that, and I just tell everyone that I changed my opinion, and I make a mistake. Quite often I make mistakes, and I just admit it, and that's what it is. Black Ladder. That's funny. Irvin, I used to watch Jake Bro. Fantastic guy. I think he even made a reaction video onto one of my videos a year ago. But I'm so busy, I don't watch any YouTubers anymore. You know, that stuff is just keeping me preoccupied. I wish I watched. Jake Bro would be high on my list because the guy is fantastic. Steaming drum stains. Interesting name. Putin made a mistake. There's no doubt about it. It's not no. Actually, you know what? No, he did not make a mistake. He committed a crime. That's a big difference. The truth will set you free. Yeah. Let's hope it does not land me in prison. Harry is here, Harry Potman. You know, folks, Harry became a mod, kind of not at his own will. I remember there was one stream in March, perhaps, or February. We were having... This channel was not very big. I'm just giving you a couple memories, you know. Mislius, I'll tell you a story about Girkin, a very funny anecdote. So, channel had been very small, less than 5,000 subscribers, and I did live streams. I took everyone out to the places I really loved, and I showed those places through my eyes, so kind of like sharing experiences that I loved with people. And Harry was one of people who always showed up at the streams, always. And then the war with Ukraine started, and the channel started exploding. Those first days, because I kid you not one single YouTuber. They were about 14 YouTubers at the time. And we never competed with each other. We're always like a community of Russian English-speaking YouTubers, and we knew each other, right? I met most YouTubers personally. And... I think the only one I'm not in contact with, I haven't met, is Roman, NFKRZ, and that's it. So everyone else I either met virtually or, but they all kept silence for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, and I think Nikki Proshin was the first one after me who started saying something. So, and I was the only person basically just speaking from my heart, and a lot of people came to watch. And I remember one of the streams, I was talking and talking and talking. It was a different kind of like a model of streaming, because I would turn the live stream chat on right away, and I just keep on talking, looking at the camera, and I didn't see what was going on. And all of a sudden, there were like 5,000 people in the stream, and everyone was like screaming at me in caps, like, Constantine, add more mods. Pinball of Pinball Preparedness, he was at the stream. He emailed me like, hey, add me as a mod. I'll help out Mommy and Lorna, because they were the only two ones. And I can't say I started panicking. I was like, whoa, what's going on? So I made Pinball a mod, and I made Harry a mod, because he was a very familiar face among like the entire bunch, and I just made him a mod without asking him. And then after that, I reached out and said, would you mind modding? And he graciously agreed. So every time I see Harry's name here, I remember I was making them a mod. Mommy and Lorna, you remember that, right? So anyway, Benny Grandstrom, thank you so very much again. I forgot. My Mitch McConnell. Did I see the super chat already or not? Sorry. Benny, thank you so very much. Much appreciated, and much needed, very appreciated in all these days. Thank you so much. X-Flying Tiger, John and Nikki from Lake Shasta. We are on your side, friend. Thank you so very much. Thank you. You are beyond usual suspects. And, you're just, Russia insiders, I think. Inside Russians. No, Russia insiders. So thank you so much. Astra Sema, thank you for your clear, no BS look from an educated Russian point of view who isn't afraid to say what is obvious to everyone. Enjoy your weekend, my friend. Thank you so much. There will be a movie. I've been so tied up, friends. I'm sorry, but I've uploaded. I just need to release this movie for sponsors and patrons of a couple of weeks. I've been promising. Definitely that. And will be a live stream as usual tomorrow at usual time, 9 p.m. Tashkent. Sunday will be usual stream, and Monday too. But then I'll be taking a break starting Tuesday. Thank you so very much. Astra Sama, thank you. And Joanne Botcher, thank you so much from South Africa, right? Wow. Thank you so very much. Michael Silberg, thank you. Thank you, much appreciated. Frank in Texas. I still recall how I did that freaking mastermind. Yeah, that's a long story, but me and Frank, we go in the old ways, in the old days. 1420, Teddy. Before leaving Russia last September, I was going to meet both guys and make a video with them. Unfortunately, I rushed out of Russia. But he's definitely great. Daniil is great. Eileen, I remember the day when Amir became a mod. Harry says it's really my pleasure. Thank you. Well, thank you, Harry. Thank you so much. Well, 3D live music, thank you so much. I will not disappear completely. I will probably even make a couple live streams. I know that the mods will try to beat me if I do that. Because they've been asking me to take some rest. I basically am emotionally absolutely exhausted, friends. Physically it's okay. I'm in a routine of making live streams every night at midnight, but emotionally it's really hard to explain. By the way, sign up for my for my Instagram, because I will be using Instagram much more often. And Telegram channel. Telegram channel is Inside Konstantin's Russia, and Instagram is Main Surfer. So sign up, and I'll be giving quick updates and pictures, or short texts, things like that. Paivi Makirinta, what do Russia see as victory in SMO now? Nothing. They are not seeing. They got into this whatever they call SMO, the war. I think that Putin wanted to be very quick and bloodless. I think he wanted to go and take Kiev in 3 days. That's basically what the rumors have it. And install his own government and leave Ukraine. That's in and out, bloodless people cheering, saying, "Oh, finally, you Russians came, you saved us from Zelensky and his government and the Nazis and stuff like that." And then when he faced the reality, I mean, what can they announce as a victory? They never set any goals. They said, we are to denazify Ukraine and demilitarize. Now, Ukraine is one of the best armies in the world. It's been militarized up to yin-yang. Okay? Now NATO has expanded all over around Russia for thousands of kilometers for a border. Now they don't even tell Russians what Russian army is doing in Ukraine. They're just fighting. Okay? Because Ukrainians are bad. And we're good. We're the Russian world. We're bringing, first it was, Ukrainian population is occupied by these Nazis. We're going to come in and liberate Ukrainian people. And now, all of a sudden, all Ukrainians are bad, and we're against them. And the Ukrainians are puppets of the Satanists, Americans, of course, evil Americans, and NATO and all of that. So that's basically, they're inconsistent in setting up their goals, and they've been feeding people bullcrap. Okay, and it's at this point, no one understands what the victory would be. Lorraine Prasnovsky, thank you so much. Another person who's been here forever and ever and ever before the SMO started. Please forgive me for saying that. The war. Crusader Damien, hey, I totally agree with you. I would pay for a ticket to him to go. I'd really like him to go there. Hag. Finally, have learned how to say that right. The Hag. Not Hog. But the bunker would be good too. These things don't make me safer here in Uzbekistan. Saying them out loud. Well, we'll live only once. Mad Max alone. What if Poland annexes Ukraine? Well, to me, it's kind of a crazy idea. Poland annexing Ukraine. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's say if it happens, Poland annexes Ukraine. To me, as a Russian who is in exile, who's been standing up against the war and all of this bullcrap, I'm telling you that it's going to be between Ukraine and Poland and, international community. Because if Poland breaks the rules of international community, then I guess, international community would need to step in, just like it's doing right now. So, and it certainly would not be of any Russia's business. I know they've been scaring Russians with that. Oh, look, Poland wants to take the Western Ukraine. Who are you to talk about relationship between Poland and Western Ukraine or Ukraine, Ukrainians? Who are you? Russians. Well, stay in Russia. But apparently it doesn't work that way, KG1, oh boy. Watched your family video on your mom's birthday in Rostov, day before February 24th. Yeah, I remember that well. Powerful emotional times indeed. KG1, that was such a peaceful day. In Rostov, usually in February, it's winter, it's cold. But the weather was fantastic. It was, 15 degrees Celsius, which is almost 60 Fahrenheit. And such a nice sunny day. It felt like spring, and we also had such a good time. And there was a feeling in the air that it's too good to be true, Now I recall and I look back, and there was something in the air. And I went home. I stayed up late because streamed, and then there was, I don't remember. I stayed up late around 2 in the morning, something like that. And then Lorna emailed me saying, Konstantin, look, they just closed airspace in Rostov. They shut down the airports all over southern Russia. And I was so exhausted. I said, well, I'll deal with it tomorrow or something like that. And I wake up and the war started. I remember that time very well. Couldn't believe it. The first I saw missiles flying to Ukraine, Russia attacking Ukrainians, and I made the video. And basically, if you watch that video, you will see what I was going through on that day. Pretty raw emotions, very raw video. I didn't edit much, I just did it in one take. Yeah, thank you, KG1. Paula H, thank you so much for staying with me. Your streams are my bedtime in Stockholm, and you're the last thing I listen to most evenings. Well, I'm glad. Thank you. Auntie Ritivara, thank you so much. I'm absolutely horrible with pronouncing names. Thank you so much for supporting. Every dollar counts, and you're reaching out and sending a super chat just means a lot. Thank you. What a hog. David Patton, thank you. Are Russians fleeing Crimea after the bridge attack and damage? Or this attack being overplayed in the media? Attack definitely was not overplayed. It's been underplayed. Russian media underplays everything. It definitely has underplayed the attack. Oh, not a big deal, nothing happened. You still can use the bridge, so cars drive there. And no, people do not flee in panic. And that's another thing I don't understand and I'm researching about right now, same as the lack of empathy. So please stay tuned. I will be addressing that. Michael Silberg, when you say Carthago delenda est, I think it means you have chosen side completely. and it should be 1000% crystal clear to anyone. Paid attention which. You are spot on. Yes, I think so too. And of course, Putin has been saying the same on the other side. That is questionable. I think that he's been in panic. He's been weakened. He's been terrified. I'm not sure if he's saying that. I don't think he knows what to do next. I don't think he has a plan. And he just does things very situationally, day to day, you know. But you're definitely right about me, Michael. Thank you. I have chosen my side. And I've been very vocal about that. And I'm trying to stay away from the windows here in Tashkent. I promised a little anecdote about Girkin and his arrest. Not much is known about his arrest except for he's in prison. He's being charged with extremism. He's been charged with extremism, which is not a good article to be charged with. And most likely he will go to prison. And just like I said in my yesterday's stream, the Z-Turbo Patriots, they started getting very, very scared. Those names I mentioned yesterday, I went onto their Telegram channels. Guess what? They stopped posting. They used to be so like few posts a day, so like vocal about some things, criticizing Ministry of Defense. They shut down. Yep. So imagine this, a Russian prison, a place where they keep people who are charged and waiting for court. You cannot get out on bail in Russia, so you wait until the trial. And there are 3 people, and one guy sitting inside the cell, and 2 new ones. They say their names, and one asks another, well, what are you charged with? Why are you here? And that fella answered him. Says, I was praising the biggest patriot of Russia, the savior of motherland, the leader of the club of angry patriots, the patriot of the patriots of Russia, Girkin, Igor Girkin. Oh, what's your charge? And the guy looks at him. He says, you know what? I've been cursing, criticizing, threatening the biggest traitor Russia has ever seen. The traitor of the traitors, the extremist, the terrorist, the criminal, Igor Girkin. And they look at each other, and they look at the third guy and ask him, well, who are you and what are your charges? And he looks at them and gets back, well, I am Igor Girkin. That's pretty much what's going on with the Turbo Patriots right now. An encore. Wait a second. Encore is the second time. I'm not sure what it means. Auntie Ritivara. I'm sorry. I hope you don't get offended. I'm pretty bad at names again. Angie Metcat just got back from California. To California. Beautiful weather this weekend. I wish you and your family could come for a barbecue. I would love that. Some drinks. I would actually, believe it or not, but I would have a couple cocktails. I usually don't drink. Thank you. Thank you, folks. I think I'm going to be wrapping up and invite everyone to go and finish the stream in a prayer as usual. Thank you. Thank you so much. Before I start praying, I'd like to say that this is an honor for you, for me, so you are here. it just gives me reinforcement time after time after time of doing the streams. I see that many people come and they appreciate what I do, and I find it interesting, useful. Thank you for the tea, Brainstar. Thank you, Dion Yurchenko. Your last name sounds very Ukrainian, so thank you so very much. So anyway, it's a huge honor for me. So you come and we spend time together. It's actually the best part of my day, every day. Thank you. I invite everyone to pray with me. If you're religious, if you're not, just pray. You can call it whatever. You can call it sending good vibes, good energy, good feel, and good wishes to people. That doesn't hurt, does it? So let's do it. Thank you. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you very much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables and roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love and who love us. Thank you for everything. Please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads peaceful and clear. Give us wisdom to raise them so when they become adults, they will make this world a better place. And they will do a good job changing this world to better than we have done. Meanwhile, for now, please keep our children safe and healthy. Dear Lord, please help stop bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out to people who are responsible and capable of making that decision. Reach out and fill their hearts with love, mercy, empathy, forgiveness. Open their eyes, have them wake them up from the lethargic sleep that they've been at, and so they will understand what tragedy has been done, and they will make the decision to stop the bloodshed. Dear Lord, please help every single Ukrainian who has been affected by this terrible tragedy, answer their prayers, and make their wishes come true. Please send angels to Ukrainians so angels keep people out of harm's way. Help my country. Assemble the heavenly army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, and send them down to this earth as avalanche to get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country. Dear Lord, please have angels run Russia, make it respected, respectful, loved, and loving, and peaceful. Please send help to everyone who is traveling. Send them safe travels. Send help to everyone who is seeking for asylum. Please help those who are suffering from the missile strikes executed by Russian forces in Ukraine. Please send people help. You know what kind of help they need. Please help those who are helping Ukrainians by opening their hearts, minds, wallets, doors. God bless them. Please help all single mothers who are raising their children and struggling to make ends meet. Please send help. Please give us peaceful skies above our heads, no matter where we live and where we're from and who we are, because we all need that. Thank you so very much for bringing us into this community and allowing us to maintain it. Thank you for allowing us to pray every single day together. Thank you. Please help everyone who is praying right now along with me or simply watching us pray. Please make everyone wish comes true. and answer everyone's prayers. Thank you so very much, dear Lord. I would like to mention a few people who need your help. Please help, send help directly and send help through your angels. They are little girl Sarah, who needs recovery. She's not feeling well. Please send your angels to help her in the hospital. Send her recovery, recovery, and send her healthy and happy long life. Please help her parents who are staying strong in spirit, and send them your angels to help them out in this hard time. Thank you. Please help Frank in Texas, Nina, Julie W., Janine, Margaret, Linda Trombley, Eugene and Lindsay's daughter, Sarah Stokes, Yorkie's mom, China Bill, Julia Haney, Hannah, Jamie's family, Pam, Nathan, Susan Mailer, Heather, Dave, Tired needs sleep. Please help with insomnia. Gloria Roberts and her brother. Please help send fast recovery to Jeffrey S. after his knee surgery. And please help Vasilin Lubomirov. Please help Larry, Brittany S., Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Bonnie, Svetlana, Karen, Janine, Michael Milkevitz, Marlene, Paul Bins, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk, Linda, Terry, Lars Henrik and his mother, Richard Burris, Angelic at Life, and Scan family's grandson, Randolph, Barb, Nelly, Arkady, and Yuri Nikolaev, Harry's family, Verlinda's niece, Rafaela From, Michelin, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Lisa's son, Jade Kaltenberg, Alice and Dave Moyes, Maureen M., Mr. Hansen, Bob, Matt, Ashley and family, Mr. Dean Spooner, his church called Our Savior Lutheran Church, Lisa Kumrian, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Kyle's wife, Grace Philosophy. Please send her recovery and shine your heavenly light upon her, her family, and her granddaughters. Maggie, Vladislav, Sergey, Gina, Wayfarer, AMS paramedic Liz, Susie, Lori, Miles' husband, Sherry, Layla, Philip's mother, Wayne, Shirley, Debbie, Jen Ellen, Finola, the Highwayman, Essie from the Scottish Isles, Outlander and family, David Porter and his family and daughter, and everyone who is in Chernovtsi, Ukraine. Please protect them from missiles. Lars, Susan Marshall, Beulah, Lazarus, Bas Simon, Alvin's sister, Teresa D., Marsha, Outlander, Garcia Castellanos, Terry Carter, Joe and Lee McMahon, Meta Spencer, Diana and her family, Bree's friend, Caroline, Albina Fell, Michael Yukon, Joel, Live, Karin Vasseur, Pamela J., Danielle Nine, and Lindsay, and Mammy K's family. Dear Lord, please help special children. They are Cadence, Maverick, Sebastian, Coulter, Theo, Maddie, Eva, Ansley, and Karin Vasseur's niece, 2-year-old niece. Send them recovery, send them good health, and have their family go through the hard time easily. Send strength to their families too. Please help all the families from Ukraine who have been affected by this terrible tragedy, innocent people from Russia who have been affected, and children, the Ukrainian and Russian children who have been affected by this madness. Please send them angels so the angels would care for them and help them. Please help all the children who are not feeling well. Send them recovery and send the parents strength to go through a hard time. Thank you so very much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you. Thank you so very much. It's been my pleasure and my honor to have you here. Thank you. You're absolutely fantastic. You rock. And you roll. Tomorrow, private live stream for patrons and sponsors. Day after tomorrow, my regular message, and you can trust me, I have lots of messages to deliver, very strong ones. I wish I could be making live streams twice a day. I have twice as much to say, but it's once a day for now. Thank you so very much. And before I sign off, I am asking you to do me a favor. Say along as loud as you can with me the following. Carthago delenda est.